kind of a story of character development and triumph, success. So I was kind of thinking of my own life as I was watching this too, in comparison, and kind of thinking like how much time I've sort of wasted, squandered, how much, savings I've squandered repeatedly, and all that, and like thinking to some roughly corresponding years of his life and my life. But yeah, but I think I've talked to you about how I recently heard the interview with Johnny Kim on Jocko Willink, and something similar happened to me there, where he is an exceptionally accomplished person, and so I was thinking about my own life in kind of contrast. I don't know, but do you have this experience? I know you have a cousin who's, I mean, you're much younger than me, so it's a little
Yeah,
different maybe.
so yeah, I feel like for me, I'm still kind of, yeah, it's early. I'm starting out, but um, I guess like a smaller version of that for me is just like wasting years at the same job while I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I feel like
Yeah.
I've wasted some time just kind of stagnant and not really changing much, um,
Mm. Yeah.
which is really unusual from how I was before, because before I had very clear goals and a good vision of what I wanted to do. And um, but yeah, but I still am kind of maybe going back to that a little by starting school again later on in a few months. So
Yeah, accounting.
that's helped me feel better. Yeah. And like I'm
Yeah.
actually doing something again with my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, that's good.
Um,
Yeah, you were pretty driven in school and everything. You always were.
yeah.
Unlike me, I was very sort of almost wishy-washy. I love learning, but yeah, I didn't really have like study skills and discipline and focus and like a focus.
Mhm.
And that's partially the nature of my problem, or my sort of nature, I think. And not on, but not only character, but also partially character. Why do you think things had stagnated
Um,
currently?
well, I think I was just so focused on that stuff early on that I didn't really know that, but I didn't really take time to like, I don't know, get to know myself or what I actually want from life. So
When you say you're
like
focused on that stuff, you mean just getting through school?
yeah, education and all that. So but yeah, I never really developed, I think, as a person much. I think because of a lot of factors in my life. But yeah, so I didn't really know myself. So now like and what I actually want from life. So now like that block of like stagnation is kind of hitting me like after school, which is maybe a little unusual or maybe not too unusual, but for a lot of people, it seems those kinds of problems are like when they're in high school or college, like a little bit before that. I think I've seen, or at
Yeah.
least from just hearing lots of other people's stories, they're kind of lost in that kind of in those kind of years
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teenage angst or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, would you say you were hyper focused and partially to get away maybe from your previous adversity? And
Yeah. That was hyper focused, but yeah. So yeah, it just gave me a lot of purpose and drive early on. But I think because of those same problems, I like I said, like I've never even had a rebellion phase or just like normal developmental stuff, I think. So
mm,
I yeah, I think I was just not developed as a person, maybe
mm,
much,
mm.
I think maybe compared to where most people are
It's interesting
later
you
on.
talk about being hyper focused and getting to the next
Yeah.
step in school and everything. And then in a way you finished that process and now you've washed up on shore, and it's like, what's next? Is that an appropriate metaphor?
Yeah.
One thing though,
Yeah.
I want to look back at like the the later stage of that swimming and like why did you major in psychology? Because that's not necessarily what some upwardly mobile or sort of ambitious or sort of, person mostly thinking about success or money career would have done.
Mm. I think it's, yeah, I wanted to help people, and I was involved in like other mental health, like like the suicide hotlines and crisis hotlines. So I was involved in those in college.
Right. Yeah. And
But
that wasn't just a coincidence, or that wasn't because you were majoring in psychology. You had this feeling that you wanted to help people, this and experience in doing so that informed that
yeah,
feeling.
yeah, so I did. But yeah, like I said, just because I think I was just behind in just developing myself like normally outside of academics and school and stuff. So I didn't really explore much else, like for other things in my life. So then
I
I
mean, you did
went to like a,
powerlifting,
yeah,
you did the you had friends and you were part of clubs like you did
yeah,
European def uh
yeah, like fencing. Yeah.
yeah, like martial arts
Um,
fencing, not sport fencing.
yeah. So yeah, I guess maybe it wasn't all like all bad, but so I did expand a lot more than I did in previous years. But maybe not, I feel like still not all the way or something. Um,
So, what's next?
yeah.
So you've washed up on shore now, and then it took you
Yeah.
a while, but you feel like you found a career path with accounting, which I think
Yeah.
is, yeah, very much fits your traits and interests. But yeah, what's next for the development part?
Well, I'm already looking at internships, but I don't qualify yet because I technically haven't started the school.
Mm.
But once I start the school, then I would look at those internships
But I think you've
again.
got the career locked down, right? Like you kind of know what path to take with that.
Um, I don't know because there's never been, well, before it was like perhaps becoming a therapist, but then I felt burned out on mental health. And now I'm gonna try accounting, and I think I will probably do fine there, but I can't really tell what's the one thing I want to do for life. So, um,
Yeah, but I do
yeah,
think
if
that
it,
really fits you. I don't know. Do you not think you would? It seems like that's a good job, and you talked about even being able to do it part time. I mean, do you really have doubts on that, or are you just having trying to have healthy skepticism?
I think healthy skepticism because, yeah, I'm still young and I've never really tried a lot of stuff. So who's to say that's the one thing I'll stick with
Yeah,
the rest of my life?
but still, that seems like you've got a path. You kind of know what you're doing with that. But what I was
Yeah.
asking is what other kinds of you ways you think you should develop or you have to
Mm.
develop. What do you mean?
Well, well, I think just my so I've kind of changed how I view a job. So like I chose accounting because while it's not the most exciting job, I don't really care about finding fulfillment in a job. I would think maybe a job that isn't so mentally draining, like mental health is, might give me more energies to pursue my other interests in life. So um, just like the fitness that we've mentioned, or just exploring other topics I like a lot. So, I love the paranormal and all that strange stuff, but I also
Yeah.
like history and religion too. So,
Oh, okay.
um,
But do
yeah.
you